You're right. There is not a September surge this year in 2023. Historically, in recruiting, we call it the surge because hiring managers, recruiters, it slows down in the summer. Everyone's taking vacations and doesn't want to train people. And then when kids go back to school, we would see the surge because they would kind of get back into the recruiting, and there would be an uptick because the hiring managers would finally be around to get people through the hiring process. That's not happening this year, namely because we're seeing massive amounts of layoffs that aren't being talked enough about in the media. But also another thing that's not being talked about in the media is the adjusted unemployment rate. So if you Google search that, just a couple weeks ago, it came out that the adjusted unemployment rate is 7.1%. And that's a lot higher than the 3.8% that they're claiming. And the reason for that, the adjusted reflects all the people that are underemployed, meaning they're in jobs, like maybe hourly jobs, but they normally were salaried workers, or they're in jobs that are way lower than they were making. So they're looking for a better job. And then people who have just kind of given up because it's taken so long, they've given up. And this will continue to climb. We're in a very different time period right now. It swings back and forth, and it swings back and forth sometimes within a year. But right now it is swinging towards the fact that people are struggling to find work. And I just want to say, I get really upset when people get on here and they comment. I don't see what people are talking about. It's, not hard to find a job, or lower your expectations. I saw some kind of nasty comments like that. There's way more to it. Where you're located, what industry you're in, what skill sets. There's a lot of complexity to what impacts somebody looking for work. What we can control is what we do. And that means understanding our market and our market situation, understanding what tools and resources we can leverage, and making sure that we're doing all the steps necessary and consistently in order to get in front of recruiters and hiring managers, stand out and get hired, because it's a process. I get it. And, I built that job search checklist that I dropped this week, the links in my bio, to help people kind of guide themselves through it, make sure they're not skipping any steps. But I just want you to know that you're supported and understood, because you're right. Things are very different right now. And I really hope it doesn't last very long. But for those of you looking for work right now, we got to approach it differently. We've got to come together and figure it out. So anything I can do to help there, keep the questions coming.